it's here. We have delicious and cheesy pizza with various toppings.
Oh, I like pizza the best. Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. How about hamburgers with juicy patty and crispy veggies?
Hamburger sounds so yummy.
Excuse me. They came to my place first. Why don't we let them decide? So, what do you want, sir, ma'am?
What should we eat? They both look so good. Pizza? Hamburger? Pizza? Hamburger? Pizza? Hamburger? Oh, we can't decide. What shall we eat? Gooey cheesy pizza, juicy patty. What shall we eat?
Dear customers, your worries are over. Eat and sour sauce on top. No cheese, veggies, meat, shrimp, chop chop, chop chop. Hot from the oven for you. It's the best. Feeling so too. Have a big bite. Stretchy cheese, longer and longer. Shrimp pizza, cheese pizza, pepperoni. Tell me what you like. Choose all you favorite tasty festivities.
What shall we eat? What shall we eat? Gooey cheesy pizza, juicy patty. What shall we eat?
I know you want hamburgers today. Juicy patty, oh yes please. You know, tomatoes, pickles, lettuce, cheese. Oh yeah, pile up as high as it can be. It's the best, don't you agree? Have a big bite. Take a bite or two or three. Eat some more and more. Cheese. Delightful, savory, tasty festivities. You should have a cheesy pizza. Oh, you should have a juicy burger.
What shall we eat? What shall we eat? Gooey cheesy pizza, juicy patty.
I'd like to have 3 large shrimp pizzas, a big cheeseburger with double patties, lettuce, and lots of fries. Oh, and a Diet Coke, please.
So good. Can I have one more pizza, please? And one more hamburger, please.
Oh, sure, we're coming. They sure can eat a lot.
Who's ready to hatch some cool pets? Click here to make your very own monster.
How do you feel between seeing red? Hey, banana.
Thing I say people don't know about Mickey Mouse. First, he was supposed to be called Mortimer Mouse, but Walt's wife Lillian suggested Mickey sounded friendly. But Disney can't let go of Mortimer, so he became a separate character as Minnie's ex-boyfriend. Disneyland was supposed to be built in Burbank and was supposedly named Mickey Mouse Park, but it was rejected by the city council, so they ended up in Anaheim. Lastly, from the early 1928 until 1947, the one voiced the original Mickey Mouse was himself. Three things that suggested Mickey sounded friendly, but but Disney can't let go of Mortimer, so our character as Minnie's ex-boyfriend. Disneyland was supposed to be built in Burbank. It was rejected by the city council, so lastly, the early 1947, the one who opened the original Mickey was actually Walt Disney himself. The reason many people don't know about called sounded friendly, but Disney can't let go of it, so he became a character as boyfriend. Next, Disneyland was a built in and was supposedly named Mickey.
Let me get the toilet. The technology of eternity productivity. We're gonna do the toilet, and I'm gonna do the one again. Okay.
以时间为证，以因果为曲。
很多人想要证明，
嗯，
只要没有这红线，他就
everything not connected.
去幻想，去生气。很可惜，我们都没有这次。
A short one for him. That one's a better one. There you go. Good thinking, that one.
Go around.
Sources, amazing sources, and you had some for ages. That's nice, isn't it?
I feel it's very hungry. Whoops. Keep pressing the wrong button.
以时间为证，以因果为曲。
很多人想要证明，包括只要没有这红线，他就没有一个普通人。去幻想，去生气。很可惜，我们都
Wrong.
Yeah. I'm letting you stone.
Yeah.
Later, I think we finally solved it. JP, can you send your notes? Ben, can you send your notes?
Johnny, tell me. Young crocodiles.
One, two, three, four. Oh, that's too many tissues. Oh, am I using them too much? Tony! Tony! Thank you, Tree. Chippy, chippy, choo here. He's in pain. Chippy, choo. Let's go baby earth. White sketchbook, rainbow colored papers, storybooks we read every day, and a paper box. Easy to use paper cups, clean tissues, a desk and a chair that we
Came today, so wasn't it? So that was quite exciting. It was. I don't think it was here.
Now the trees give us the best gift of them all. Trees, the best gift for us. Gave us so many things. Thank you, trees. Thank you, trees. Trees, some trees now. Your tree. Cut down.
说吧，告诉我你到底是谁？你的谎言已经
Do
被拆
you
穿了。
think piano?
所有人想把这火焰看见，包括我。只要没有这火焰，他就能作为一个普通人去幻想。
Shall you ever be going back on the banana? I've already forgot how good everything
Which one did he want? Oh, take that one back.
is going well.
Yeah, with a banana.
I think we might be hungry.
Yeah, lots of collectible.
Got it. and I keep pressing the wrong button. Let's have this one. Got it right. My favorite thing in angry. What's that? SPC is safe. It didn't know what they do. It's it's going really well.
That's great. Let's cable right around that one. Yeah, something. You have to listen to tunes as well as doing gaming.
All my food just did a poo. Good job. Stop it. Jeffrey.
The pedal was much faster, isn't it? Much better than the other one.
I'm very hungry. Mmm. And then it is very attached to me. Reps. They're hungry.
It's okay, Bob. Oh, that's how she jumped into her.
They're taking that. Right.
Streaming games. Were they just as bad as the other unlicensed game companies, or did they actually do what they're doing? Let's take a look. What's going on? Coming at you with the video. If you've seen a couple of our videos and you're with us,
I'm just doing something in the Chinese version way quickly.
so much for helping get there. Been in my Discord server yet?
Though I won't.
Discord.gojo.net or click on the link in the description. Anyway, let's talk about Tengen. In the mid 80s, Atari Inc. was going through some financial issues due to poor business decisions. The Atari 5200 was expected to be the follow up to the previous console, but it ended up being a commercial failure. Another failed project was a video game tie in to the movie E.T. Atari spent a lot of
Nice.
money trying to make this game possible, but the development was rushed in order to make a deadline, and it didn't perform as well as expected. The video game market was beginning to go through a
No,
crash,
nice.
and most of the blame goes to Atari and the CEO, Ray Kassar. Atari Inc. would eventually break up into two different
Nice.
divisions. Employees would move over to
What
newly
awesomeness is in
Atari
this
games.
game?
Despite the name, the company access to Atari's IPs like Breakout or Asteroids. Instead, they developed their own line of games. Some examples include Paperboy, Gauntlet, Marble Madness, and others. While they were making games in the arcade, the home console market was changing drastically. The NES was released in the US and it made a positive impact. Consumers liked video games again thanks to Nintendo. With the home console market being repaired, Atari Games began making games for the NES. However, they were not allowed to participate in the home console market under their current name since the company Atari Corporation.
Real fast. Ish.
Was fully allowed to deny a game you could also only get 5 games, which was extremely limiting because it was one
Ish.
game.
With the way too quick.
But they refused. Like most companies in this position, Tengen had no choice but to agree to the harsh rules. As an official licensee, Tengen would publish 3 titles that were approved by Nintendo. But they didn't want to do this long term, so Tengen came up with an idea. Why not make games without Nintendo's authorization? The
They're
problem
way
with
too
these game
quick.
companies was that they weren't provided with any
That's why
restrictions.
still for the English. Wait a second.
Access to hundreds of classes. If you want to learn how to use a certain program, go to the site Skillshare has you covered. As a programmer, you
And
can learn Science Maker,
which is now not a BM
Skillshare has. There's a class on Python, which
webs.
is one of the most to learn. If
These
you
are
want
the
to learn
way
about
too
Java,
quick, can
use the
I?
building blocks to develop
And
programs.
these are the card
Programming is also
reps.
the beginner's guide to PHP history, which teaches you the basic fundamentals of PHP. These are only a few of the many coding classes that are on Skillshare. Imagine if unlicensed game companies like Color Dreams had access to these
The drawing
classes.
center is like as
If
a
you want
involved
to
in
build a
Chinese
channel,
version
you
now
can
the
build
age
a
is being in was still good anyway.
the editing software you're trying to learn, there's a tutorial on Adobe Premiere
That
to
I
teach you how to use it.
don't
It doesn't
if I
stop
press
there.
the wrong
There's classes
button.
on art illustration, cooking, marketing and sales, learning how to play an instrument, and much
But
more.
because I
If you want
stuck
to try
as
to
the
learn
involved
coding for
now
yourself, it
dating
is
the
not an
Chinese
easy
version,
task, but what I like about
I
Skillshare
only
is that you can
make
learn
it
not just
random.
interested in programming, video editing, or want to check out the other classes on
Where if
Skillshare.
it gets too much,
Below. So, one month free. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this
I
video.
hope not.
Nintendo had a lockout that prevented unlicensed games from working. Some unlicensed game companies
The
tried to get
last time mostly do the English
but Nintendo found a
interesting I
solution
just
with the
say
NES
impulse.
and decided to try instead.
After all, that's one of the originally found of civilization's biggest secrets.
Taken would have made the only 10 NES chip found from the code. They were working well for us, bypassing Nintendo's lockout. Right away,
我将为了更大的世界而战。
Alright, so cards I don't use. Use.
Nintendo's rules. Was a difficult, not in an interesting position compared to other game companies because they already had licenses
Angela.
like company would ever work with them. It's unusual for an unlicensed game company to have access to well-known games like Pac-Man, but Tengen or Atari Games was a well-established company. They knew what they were doing before jumping into the NES. But how were their NES games? Let's take a look at some. Tengen had the license to a few of Sega's properties. Let's start off with Shinobi. This game was both developed and published by Tengen. It's a platformer
Okay.
stage. You have a projectile that you control. Each stage has a background area and foreground area you can access by performing a super jump. Unfortunately, this is a very watered down version of the Master System one. The game no longer has any vertical scrolling segments. It's a stage in the Master System version where you have to migrate up in order to beat it. It's a large level, so it takes a while to get there. But because there's a
If I
vertical
get on
scrolling in the NES version, the level
if I get on the to do with it. because but they were only limited to two.
Super Combat
Yeah.
during stages that
Well,
don't need
you
it.
have a lot
Gives
more
your system more
control over what
on.
you do. I know it's difficult
You can
because
also
you
access the
when you've
background
done it.
areas, which is awesome.
Remember, if an Oscar goes to the room in the shower and on it,
Slots 10th edition.
but I hoping that.
I say I do. You know, with your life and your thing,
Be smart.
you don't need to tell them so
Stages is weird, and the status
so
must bother.
you must have an idea. You haven't
If no,
oh, it's got on the floor. Floor. Carpet's
mm,
not a good thing to put things food on.
Use more appropriate colors, and the bosses have more fluid. I'll use the first stage as an example again. Notice how much better it looks. The store menu screen is better too. It actually scrolls horizontally so you can see all the items. Tekken's version doesn't scroll at all, and instead brings you want to see the rest.
if
Three versions on the NES. Tekken released both a licensed and unlicensed version of it. The first one looks a little different. Obviously, the unlicensed version is missing the title blurb at the bottom. Years later, Namco published Pac-Man themselves. Also, source code, and the only difference is the title screen. This is a playable version of Pac-Man, better. The graphics are different from the arcade version. The ghosts are also slightly discolored, and the sound is off. The game doesn't offer any extra features, it's just a regular game. That's perfectly fine, but later on we'll see what Tengen is really capable of. Here's Rolling Thunder. Tengen published this one, but did not develop it. It's a shoot 'em up. You have a limited amount of bullets, but you can grab more by entering doors. You can also have special items in doors and hide from enemies. You can 2 hits before dying, but some projectiles kill you in one. The screen mainly scrolls left and right, but the game does have some fairly large levels that scroll vertically as well. The main problem is controls. Your character can only shoot directly in front and is unable to attack enemies above him. He also can't shoot while jumping, which makes it hard to hit enemies on higher platforms. When he touches, he'll jump back, but it's not clear the use of damage. I wish the developers made it more obvious that your character is sound or current animation. Now for Pac-Mania. This was the first version was only released in the US.
of it, come on, yeah,
But not as good as if another company like Konami were involved.
But I don't understand the game. The line, yeah. Oh,
Despite the minor
oh, yeah.
setbacks, this is a well-done
Yeah,
arcade
no,
port. Now
of
let's
it,
Pac-Man. Namco published their own version of it.
that song's got
This is a
bad press
playable
recently, hasn't
iteration of the game,
it?
but like with the NES version of Pac-Man, they made some odd graphical decisions. None of the levels are colored incorrectly. They went with green on stage 1 rather than pink for some reason. The audio sounds like they didn't even try to mimic the arcade version. Also, no bonus content, it's just Miss Pac-Man. It's unusual that Namco decided to publish this because years earlier, Tengen made their own version of Miss Pac-Man. This one was both developed and published by Tengen. We see a massive improvement in the graphics. The stages are properly colored, and it actually looks like the arcade version. The game even scrolls vertically just to get
yeah, I knew what yeah, to green was. I was, Alright, okay. So next flower, nice. Another second, so wow. Let's have another thing. There, this time.
But there's also modes that have new
Oops.
It doesn't look very appealing, and the frame rate is terrible. The NES was not meant to have a game like this, so it really does show what Tengen is capable of. There's no other NES game out there like this one. I just wanted to give you an idea of the NES was not meant to have a game like this, so it really does show what
That's funny. Good.
I feel how wide so it doesn't look very appealing. The frame rate is terrible. The NES was not meant to have a game like this, so it really does show this was the best games ever made. The last game I want to talk about is Hard Driving. This is a played NES game that was never finished. It's a driving game, obviously, where you go through obstacles. The game is really ambitious for a totally legitimate 3D perspective. I'll tell why it was not released though. It doesn't look very appealing, and the frame rate is terrible. The NES was not meant to have a game like this. Licensed game companies. Games like Shinobi were not great. They didn't really show what they're capable of with titles like and these weren't just rookie developers that didn't know how to program the NES. This was a team of experienced members. Unfortunately, things would not go well for Tengen. Remember before when they obtained the patent information for the 10 NES chip and used it for the phone chip? Nintendo didn't like that and would sue Tengen over it. Now, making unlicensed games is not illegal. Many other companies were getting away with it. It's the manner of how Tengen was bypassing the lockout chip that was the problem. Nintendo would ultimately win the suit, and Tengen would be forced to recall all their games. Unfortunately for Tengen, it just did not work out. Very unlicensed games, and newer revisions of the NES didn't.
Yes.
Embrace it all. Armor lactose free. All it takes, easier to digest.
Probably seen the rated E or rated T at the bottom of games. This is the ESRB rating, which explains what is appropriate for younger audiences. Though, Sega had their own bizarre rating system. Was Sega fair with the ratings they assigned to games, or were they biased? Let's take a look. What's going on? It's Poger coming at you with another video. Well, the semester's going on again, so we'll see how that goes. If you've seen a couple of my videos and you like what I do, hit the subscribe button right there. Thank you for helping me get to the podcast. And check out our Discord server, discord.pojo.net. Anyway, let's talk about Sega's rating system.
谁为荣耀而来？
In the early 80s, Atari Toys' hard game was appropriate for all audiences. With only 8 bytes of memory and 4 kilobyte cartridges, most games were suitable for everyone, with exceptions. They published some of the hard games not intended to audiences. Another company that video who made 2 movie-based titles that were bloody. Companies exposed a massive issue with Atari's licensing system. They didn't have one. Atari first when publishing games. Atari had zero control over what games were on their platform. This could be bad if someone who isn't within the age requirement gets their hands on a game like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Improved this aspect with the NES. Their licensing system required all games to be suitable for all ages. Companies were also required to seek approval from Nintendo before publishing a game. Plus, the graphical and audio capabilities were still very limited. We still didn't see much realistic gameplay on this console, so there wasn't much room for inappropriate or violent games. For the most part, the NES was a safe bet whether you were a kid or an adult. But there were still some controversial games. Some companies figured out how to bypass the Nintendo lockout chip and were able to publish games without their permission. The company American Game Cartridges made Chiller, which was a rail shooter that featured blood and gore. The NES even had a few adult games like Bubble Bath Babes, which had nudity. While these games were definitely not appropriate for all audiences, Nintendo cut off unlicensed developers as much as possible. Retail stores didn't carry unlicensed games, and newer revisions of the NES didn't play unlicensed games. So very few people knew about these games. The 16-bit console generation is a big technology. We did start seeing some the game technology could support it. The licensing system. Still, most of the games that were appropriate for all ages. But this was a different story on Sega Genesis. Sega had a licensing system of their own, but companies had more freedom with their games. As a result, there were games that tested the water. They wanted that as said not suggested for children under 13. Seems simple enough, but on Splatterhouse 2, it's on the front and it's very hard to read. Good job, guys. Better than nothing, there was still no streamlined system for handling more violent games. Game Mortal Kombat. This title took violent video games to a new level. There was not only blood, but decapitations and very explicit content. With the home console versions right around the corner, Sega had to make a more streamlined rating system, not just a blurb that changes with every game. Initially, Sega tried to license the rating system that movies use, such as rated PG and PG-13, but the company behind this rating system refused. So instead, Sega made their own.
It's not about how smart you are. It's about how smart your rivals think you are.
I looked pretty healthy on the outside, but this scan revealed I was a heart attack waiting to happen. I stepped on my human. I'd get a
Instead, it said I had dangerous levels of visceral fat wrapped around my liver, heart, and pancreas. I had no idea because visceral fat doesn't show up on your body. You can't pinch it. You can't see it. But it's the fat that actually drives heart disease, diabetes, inflammation, and even cancer. And what the human health told me to do next probably saved my life. The human pod doesn't just weigh you like a regular scale. It scans your entire body with 90% DEXA accuracy.
Rating console, or VRC, was born. Soon after, Mortal Kombat would receive a Genesis version, and it would be one of the first games to get a VRC rating. We'll talk more about Mortal Kombat later. Sega's new system was way more consistent than before. The rating will be posted on the bottom of the box, and every game after this will receive a rating. There were 3 different ratings that we'll go over. GA was the most common one. This is essentially rated E for every game. It was like its rating. PG-13 is similar to rating audiences that are 13 and older. With this rating, games have some violence. Games like Beavis and Butthead and Super Street Fighter 2 received this rating. And finally, MA17. This means the game is suitable for audiences that are 17 and older. This here you can have significant blood and damage. Just like Mortal Kombat, Monsters and Rise of the Dragon received. It seems like some system. In fact, it somewhat resembles the ratings even before they existed. With that said, let's take a look at a few games that received these higher ratings. Here's Splatterhouse 2. This was before that was given a small blurb, but not an actual rating. It's a beat 'em up, but it feels more like a platformer to me. The graphics have a 3D look, but you can only move in a 2D environment.
Eh?
Buttons on the Genesis controller, one for jumping and the other for attacking. I actually like this because it's no more difficult to understand than a Mario game. You can attack while in the air and while ducking, which is effective against certain enemies. The controls are pretty good. The hitboxes are nice, and the jumping
You'll
is pretty
be in my last as gamer as an imposter.
and some of the jumps damage. Graphically, it's clear why Sega put the weird blurb on the front of the box. The enemies are disgusting, and it does have a very dark theme. The music is also dark, and it fits the environment perfectly. This is a phenomenal game. I'm happy with the direction they went with this. Rather than having a clunky beat 'em up where you can only move a couple inches at a time, this is more like a platformer with some beat 'em up attributes. Fantastic game. They went in a completely different direction with Splatterhouse 3. Now it's a true beat 'em up where you can move in a 3D environment. In order to progress to the next room, you must defeat all the enemies first. The game now has a power meter where you can temporarily become super. In this mode, your attacks are more powerful, but the meter depletes every time you hit an enemy. The game is no longer as simple as walking to the right. Now there's multiple routes you can go, and there's a time limit. Thankfully, you're given a map, so it's not too difficult to find where you're going. Unfortunately, I'm not as happy with the direction they went with this game. I prefer Splatterhouse 2's platformer style gameplay where you walk to the right. I also don't love that you're inside of a mansion
Whoops.
doors, but maybe that was the point. The game was supposed to get an MA17 rating, which makes sense because this is a much darker game than the previous one. But Sega gave it instead, probably to prevent sales. This is an example of Sega being biased with their rating system. This is a good game, but I prefer the second. Empty and you die when it gets full. Shouldn't it be the other way around? The free
Right.
is terrible during the main game, and it's fun to smooth when you're playing the bonus stage. How did that happen? Your opponents sometimes have cheap strategies, like when they hide up. That's not fair. The only reason this game got a parental advisory is because of the animation when you defeat an enemy. They could have easily edited this out and not included the advisory. I'm not sure why they didn't. This is playable, but it doesn't hold my attention for long. I can't talk about violent games without mentioning Mortal Kombat. The characters were all given a realistic design, and it looks great. Unlike most fighting games, the characters don't have their own stages. Instead, the game just cycles through all of them, regardless of what character you play as or against. In my
Alright.
opinion, this isn't just a
Yeah.
mediocre game with a gimmick. It's actually a viable fighting game. But the roster of characters is very limited, and the graphics on some stages are missing detail, with only a plain solid.
Yeah, it's a bit around the rap of the crit it's going really well.
Stages. My only problem with this game is the poor CPU, at least in the Genesis version. You can easily uppercut your opponents multiple times in a row, and they do nothing about it. I made it through half the game with this move alone, and trust me, I am not good at Mortal Kombat. You can easily uppercut your opponents multiple times in a row, and they do nothing about it. I made it through half the game with this move alone, and trust me, I am not good at Mortal Kombat. The first game didn't let me get away with this tactic. This is definitely better than the original Mortal Kombat.
Ground.
就和我预言的一样。
6.5.
Surprisingly, despite Mortal Kombat 2 getting an MA-17 rating, the first one got away with only an MA-13 rating. More on this in a second. Sega's rating system had some issues. For one, they were unclear. What does some blood mean, or significant violence mean? These words are not definable. How do you define some? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? What really determines whether a game gets an MA-13 rating or an MA-17 one? Sega was completely in control of the rating system, not a third party like the ESRB rating. So rating because it would affect sales. If a game has a more mature rating, less people will buy it. 17 given the MA-13 rating. Because of Mortal Kombat, you got a whole thing MA-17 because the blood wasn't that's what they had to be in with a higher rating. Sega was not consistent with how they handled certain
Smiths.
things. That's interesting considering what they did in this game.
On.
Some characters and enemies in Streets of Rage 3 were modified from the Japanese version so it could receive the MA-13 rating. While the ratings were listed on the box, they were never mentioned
On.
in commercials for the game, which left potential buyers in the dark. Some companies thought the rating system was just an excuse to make violent games without repercussions. On the other hand, developers actually complained about the GA rating because it might make some people think the game is for kiddies. The VRC rating was not actually enforced in stores. The employees didn't check IDs, so anyone could buy the game no matter what the rating was. The VRC rating system was not enough to address the issue with violent games, which meant they were buying violent games without a rating. They were more likely to hand out the more lenient ratings to increase sales. The rating system was also only used by Sega. No other console manufacturers used them. This was important because while Sega was the biggest offender, there were violent games in other consoles. While Nintendo was more strict on their approval process, some questionable games like Street Fighter 2 did get approved despite the violent gameplay. The
别跟着班，永远加不完。Last week we didn't even know his name. Sometimes people pick up on
I keep pressing the wrong button.
PC released the Super Graphics. This console was meant to address the fundamental issues of the processor, but the console only had 5
Smiths.
such a game. Discord.net. Also, the link for the description. Let's talk about these Super Graphics. In the 80s, the two companies like Rock and PC joined forces and Well, NEC specializes in hardware. Sell the word to Nintendo, but after they disagreed, they decided to
I won.
with two well-experienced
And that's far. But perpendicular and over him above great relative to the area.
engines. Without using chips that go inside the cartridge, the Famicom was actually not as powerful as some people might think. The PC Engine could do a lot more without extra assistance. The Hue cards could carry 2 megabytes of ROM space, which is a huge increase from the Famicom.
I
It
won.
would only increase with later games. The console would also support way more colors on screen. This allowed for extra shading
This is
and
the one match
camouflage in
ranked.
games. The PC Engine also featured
Then I'll go to the English.
games that pushed the hardware limits, but the PC Engine
Okay, then I got this.
bit CPU. So it's what qualifies as 16-bit or not. This is especially because in the US console under the name Triple 16. The ratio was the not capable of
Found it into
words from the its lifespan. That console didn't be different in the graphics department. Companies tried getting around this by using cheap tactics. There's a single layer of gets the job done, or they can put obstacles in graphics on the whole level, which isn't always a great look. And finally, you can use sprites as background graphics, which is nice because the PC Engine can handle lots of them on screen. It causes more flicker than the game itself. Or you could just embrace the limitations and not even try. It really did make the PC Engine look obsolete, and this may have been why NEC made the decision that they did. In a desperate attempt to one-up Sega, they released the SuperGrafx. This was a console that played its own line of games, although it was backwards compatible with regular PC Engine games. This console truly was 16-bit, unlike its predecessor. The SuperGrafx had two background layers, which NEC was so desperate to include, but that wasn't the only upgrade. The console came with 4 times as much RAM for the CPU than the PC Engine, 32 kilobytes instead of 8. It also had double the amount of video RAM, 128 kilobytes instead of 64. The SuperGrafx could also handle way more sprites on screen than the PC Engine. Could this console be the true answer to the Mega Drive? Let's take a look at a few games. First, let's try 1941 Counter-Attack.
my social might be hungry on the run in the 10 mode.
By how much horizontally, which is some stages you can push the burn so you avoid
Got to sorted.
score.
Everyone's angry.
However, some stages don't parallax scroll at all. I'm not sure if this was the best game to show off the SuperGrafx capabilities, but this was still a decent title. Let's try Eldines. We got ourselves another shooter, this time a horizontal one. You can collect weapon upgrades, and if you grab the same one times, you get an upgraded version of that weapon. You can also obtain helpers that benefit you in one of two ways. You can either let the helpers move on their own enemies without your assistance, or you can have them follow you, which gives you extra firepower. Radius. If you hold in the fire button, a force field will show up. Instead, I wish they would have more media. The game can control the capabilities Game can be changed on tap. No way to shoot them. The game has a honestly difficult platformer. You have various projectile weapons you can collect. Start off with an armor suit and you take 2 hits before dying. Good job of capturing all the jewelry aspects. For example, sometimes you're left with a weapon like damage, which is durable. This is one of the few definitive the Genesis version. The graphics do look a little better in this one, but otherwise, I prefer the Genesis game. That version has an options menu where you can change the difficulty. The Super Graphics version has absolutely nothing, just the title screen. They also took away the unlimited continues, which was a feature I liked in the Genesis game. There was never a PC Engine version of Ghouls and Ghosts, so perhaps this title did entice some people to buy the Super Graphics. However, this also means the game didn't get as much exposure as it could have. Great game, but not worth it when there's a better version of the game on a more successful console.
Body form. It's never just a heavy period. They get in the way and make every day a black jeans day.
Gotcha. Time to put your boobo pants on.
Our number one protection for heavy flows. Body foam. Live fearless. You could save money on your energy broadband and mobile bills and feel more protected when you switch to a better deal.
Do that.
Save money at switch.com.
Here's Battle Ace. It's a flight simulator that's similar to Top Gun or Afterburner. You have missiles that lock onto enemies, which is a nice feature, but you can also shoot them down with your regular bullets. The game has a nice rotation effect, and the enemy sprites look like they're legitimately scaling. The frame rate is also excellent for a game like this. From a graphical standpoint, this game does remind me of Afterburner, which is a good compliment. Unfortunately, this game is very repetitive and boring. I'm not sure how reliant this game is on the Super Graphics' capabilities. This doesn't seem like
Goodness, Kim.
a background game. This is unbearable, but not one of the consoles. It's a platformer. Your sword has a good range, and some of the platforming is weird though. At some points, you're required to bounce off enemies to reach higher platforms. Otherwise, you're the aim is also surprisingly difficult. You only have 3 lives, and you die in a single hit unless you have that special suit. There's also no continues, which I think is a bit harsh. There are secret areas that do give you a ton of free lives, though. If you're looking for a more floaty platformer, you'll have a good time with this. I would take a look at more games, but that's all of them. I just covered the entire library of Super Graphics games. Could you imagine buying this console and only being able to play 5 games on it? There wasn't much diversity in the genre of games either. There's 2 shooters, 2 platformers, and a flight simulator. I'm sure there would have been more genres if this console didn't fail so quickly, though. The hardware was not much better than the PC Engine. Outside of parallax scrolling, I don't see much of a difference between Super Graphics games and PC Engine ones. It's clear that NEC was desperate to include parallax scrolling just to beat Sega. Never release a new console so quickly and not change much about it. Consumers should feel like they're getting their money's worth. That's not going to happen if you're releasing a new console only 2 years after the previous one. Nintendo always got this right. There was always plenty of time in between their consoles, and the newest release would always be significantly better than the last. Despite the lack of parallax scrolling, the PC engine still fought Sega on its own. Some of the later titles did look impressive, and they did pull off parallax scrolling in many games, even if they used cheap techniques. Better graphics are everything. Sega is a good example of this. Despite their consoles having better hardware, Nintendo would always end up being on top because of better games and better third-party support. The Super Graphics will end up being a failure and was never released outside of Japan. Had some great party capabilities, especially against the NES. But when the Mega Drive came out, that made the console look very obsolete. The Super Nintendo was a desperate attempt at the Sega, but unfortunately, it did not have the intended results. Hey, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, hit that like button. If you enjoy this type of content, hit the subscribe button for more content. Both of these things really help the channel grow. If you have anything to share, feel free to leave every single comment on this video. I'm pretty good at replying back. Have a good one.
I'm dead. It was tickle.
Tickle. Kind of cute. Oh, good.
I got the one more of my favorite as well.
You might have heard of the Super Sega FPGA unit. This is an secrets all of Sega's consoles, even their original cartridges and discs. But many people are convinced this is nothing more than a scam. Is it really? Or could this be a legitimate project that will come out? Let's take a look.
Gonna be my favorite as well. When you get
What's going on? With another video. Right. If you love my videos and you like what I do, hit the subscribe button. But I think it's worth it since you're getting near perfect emulation on almost every retro game console. Most of the game footage I record for videos comes from the Mister. They also have clone FPGA consoles that drop the price even more. While FPGA technology has come a long way, there's some issues with it. FPGA boards are very expensive, which is why many companies still don't use it. You're also most likely not going to see the benefits of using FPGA over software emulation. A lot of the advantages of FPGA are microscopic, and most people won't notice or care about them. But with advancing technology, maybe we'll start seeing some cheaper FPGA units. I could see this type of technology being the new standard for retro game consoles. In late June of 2024, a new FPGA game console was announced called the Super Sega. According to the press release, this console will play cartridges and discs for all Sega consoles, including the Saturn and Dreamcast. The team behind the project would show us what the console looks like, the hardware inside, and even some information about the engineers behind it.
So, we normalize NPS, annual CSAT.
But the many play is about to get September. Wow.
Yeah, for the time.
我是9月，这场修炼了200年的九尾狐。
I never that network and still arranging me. September is still uh, my favorite to wear at the moment. And it's re-handed at the new crib.
Teach you. Oh my. Mr. looks incredible. All right.
What what do you think of the things that I ordered?
sauce is actually quite nice.
Do I?
Dumplings were actually really tasty. I think she's saying like fresh bread
Let's go out.
Like our all great shows, or subscribe to keep up to date with the latest Disney Junior YouTube clips.
Captain Jake. If yes, there's a Gladiator. A girl I'm ready to go try out the art in a new Chinese game that I found. The first role this is for or in the Orals.
Still Windows in minutes and
The super being maybe.
the best of both worlds. Download Parallel Step.
Those to enter.
Imagina que alegria desenhar a saia no papel. O poder do lápis brilha, posso tudo mudar. Ele é tão poderoso.
My favorite is Dusty the Pooh.
而修炼了200年的九尾狐。
Who? Neither one of these is cleaned. They're hungry. They might do poo. Yeah. That means boring. They're hungry.
好气哦！
This is so happy.
真相。巴图，什么都见过了，噜噜噜。
Really well. They're hungry. And ours is cute. It is changing. Johnny, what do you think of the new thing, Bunga Bunga? Nice and lovely. On to banana, please. Yeah.
Can you send your notes?
That's Villain song. I like his song. Was that safe? I'm not sure. Cool. Now the player my two favorite is the neutral. I like it song. It's going really well. Because it was in the Arsenal. Because
You're a superstar,
yeah,
brother.
it was confirmed in the Arsenal lobby. So it's time to switch. And now it's about to crash. Yes, with people pressing the wrong button. This later not having took examination for number. Good. I didn't realize I know to tell you what's going to add next tonight. I'll tell you that I'll tell you when I need a banana. X. Made a mistake. That's my mistake. Like it's, like, that was my fault. Did that way too quick. My fault. They're way too quick. Yeah, but that's too quick. Maybe I wasn't in the movie. I was the room in the shower, but I hope not.
You want to shower? Go. You can have a shower now. Watch TV. But otherwise, if you can.
No, that's my fault. Even though skin goes, I do room in the shower in the morning. Next time I go to I'll be more careful. Don't care, that's right. Sometimes I have to switch to the run since unfortunately my skill is useless. So superchargers might be going poor today. I think it's gonna need to start if you end up not reading random rows. You know, it's and it was unfortunately not know so it's a what do you mean a high chance of reaching the end word tomorrow? It could be a noise in the picture. I'm mostly graduated version. Bad timing. One time to play it. Not it. I'm gonna need to shower in the morning. It's gonna need to shower.
Let's go, please.
Ideas might just going well. So then stay in in this world in the 15 mode isn't going the way as I want it. But if not, us going goes back to room in the shower in the morning. But I hope not. It it all depends if the cat the wee bunga bunga. Yeah. If you're pressing the wrong button. Let's go round. Rex? I accidentally like go round. I'll tell you if 15 play mode night and it has better players. Green. Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, yeah. Randall is going well. Something in this mode. Significant player mode is going poor. Yes. Also, oh, yellow. You're safe. Let's go. You're safe. Let's go. I'm not gonna vent just yet. Yes. Oops. Okay. But you come back to the Rangers, you're not gonna tell you 15 minutes again. Rips? This like this game well. Just Six times to get around. Because what's happening in us game will go well. It's going well now. Well, I'm good in reading. So cat, so the magician. I know that stuff. I did really well. I found six. Yes. I listen to several years to years. Oh, good designer. Objecting about that. Okay, excellent. Yes, that was no dark. No dark.
The parade from the medical center. It's your first step this rule.
Okay, okay, yes, good. Hey, go ahead.
Something like it didn't push. Probably a Mickey shaped version of it. Pizza, ice cream, even cheese. They've mastered the art of slapping on two ears and making it irresistible. Whatever you crave, don't leave without trying the Mickey shaped version, even if you don't know what it tastes like. Second, the parades are like a live fairy tale.
Not. My kid's a good guy. Yes. Bad day. Yes. Oh, no, dog. Oh, no, dog. Alright.
Digital gift cards with Microsoft Rewards. Sign up for Microsoft Rewards and earn points for your everyday activities when you search on Bing, play on Xbox, and use other Microsoft products. Get started today.
Tony started a musical, Daddy, Daughter, and Mom. Shall we start? Once upon a time, there was a beautiful young woman. Rich face. She had
My daughter-in-law is the and she has a heart of gold.
you're right, she does. The days went by. Things turned again. Gee,
Dear, are you all right? Is something bothering you? Don't look so well. Just 11.
Oh, this is a good guy. And this is Todd. Good round.
much better. It's all began to grow again. It's time families into action.
Holy moly! If you fart one more time, the whole house will collapse. My, you scared us. You can't live with us anymore. Pack your belongings. I'll walk you back to your parents' room.
The daughter-in-law had to leave the house. She and her father-in-law and walked over the hills.
Oh, dear. I'm really exhausted. Let's take a short break here.
Yes, father.
Oh, my. Oh, so, the pears look so tasty. I'm really thirsty.
Father, I can pick some pears for you. The daughter-in-law started to tighten her lower tummy. Started to drop from the tree because of a thunderous fire.
So lucky to have such a talented partner like you. Illyria, Illyria. We're so lucky because of our daughter-in-law sparks. Who cares if the fart is like a typhoon? Illyria, Illyria. We're so lucky because of our daughter-in-law sparks. Who cares if the fart is like thunder? Ah, you're welcome to return to our house. Let's go.
The daughter-in-law and on the daughter-in-law farted after with blue. See you next time. See you next time. And on lived and farted happily ever after with blue. See you next time.
No! Another thing that I like doing with is yeah. That's wrong. Utopia. It's I'm just trying out a new game. So again, they're gonna add some more Mac games. It almost went around now. Not yet. I don't know if I get out some new Chinese games. No one's a banana.
Okay, have some drink. Maybe drink some of that first.
Mm. And my gaming is going really well today. Alright. On the and I also really like to check out the Taiwanese store on my iPad. Oh, so you get your iPad on? Yeah. I do. So this is not filming.
It is going well now. That's great. Really good news. I'll check to see. It's already there for you. I checked. It's got 60% charged.
I'm just about to. Yeah, it's going to down now.
Yeah.
It's a brand new game.
All right. Is it a Mac game then? Or?
No. It's a new Chinese game.
Oh, I see. Look, you tangled yourself up in this.
And they also had to do Chinese games.
Yeah, as long as you stay happy. They're not the easiest games to play. I think they present often legal challenges too. In terms of access.
Really? It's going really well. And that's taken from the game.
Oh, okay, yeah. What of them?
Really? Cool.
What's it look like? Is it going okay?
Yes. Yeah. This one's a new game.
Oh, right. Oh, that's good.
This game is still going down. It is new. Do you like mobile shooters? Yes. So definitely you don't know the night.
Mm-hmm.
I picked it to provide punk. I was oh. Also, what else is there on here?
Well, yeah, yeah. Why don't you try some other ones?
I'm just waiting for milk.
Okay.
If
Doing really well, but that makes it so much better for you tomorrow if you want to have these.
I am. Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know who did it. I think this case will be very hard to solve. Judy, Tony, I need your help.
Tony changed into and fly. Chippy choo. Like the tree. Chippy choo. Tony into and fly. Bird dog for fingerprint. For some fingerprint in the frosty. Brings us to water. Yes, I found one. Look for the clues in the crime scene. Click every corner for photo evidence. Here, there must be more here.
When they turn it down.
By the way, I wanted to say something to you. You can tell us now. What is
I run out of space.
noodles fresh, spaghetti?
Hurry up again now. Yes.
Isn't it good for?
Chocolate decorated like this, nice and pretty. It's crunchy, crunchy, oh, it's crispy, crispy, oh.
The dust turns to glass as the pulse begins. A legacy written in electric sand.
veggie fire. One last breath on the funeral pyre. Flicker the runes on the cold steel blade. Before the remnants of the world start to fade. Break through the static, tear down the sky. Underway where the ancient kings lie. We are light in the blue stained dark. Forging a path with the digital spark. Kinetic pulse in a world of ghosts. Leading the charge of the silent host. Rusty gears grind on a core of grace.
那是AI 看 AI 传，这真的是爆太太。Which passive
Beneath the ghost of a dead and red.
But the game says each passive one button.
Iron and ether, the fusion is new. Shatter the ceiling of the
Grip
vaulted halls. Shatter the ceiling of the
two
vaulted
passive
halls.
one
Listen
button.
to the echo when the silence calls. Break through the static, tear down the sky. Under the wave where the ancient kings lie. We are the light in the blue stained dark. Forging a path with a digital spark. Kinetic pulse in a world of ghosts. Leading
That
the
AI never
charge
had
of
to
the
take
sun.
selfies. It's